Well, joining me on the news at 10 is Mr. Wande Adalemo to illuminate the fourth industrial revolution. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at 10. Let's look at it a little deeper. First, it was the invention of mechanics.
Exactly.
Second revolution was electricity for mass production. The third, electronics and IT for automated production. How do you then define the fourth revolution?
Well, the fourth revolution has as its foundation the third revolution. The digital revolution is the foundation for the fourth revolution. Now, the fourth revolution is the blurring of the lines between machine and humans, nanotechnology, biotechnology. The speed and the velocity at which it happens has never happened in mankind's history. It is now that people can produce things in England and it's printed in Nigeria right after production. As an example, General Electric is beginning to produce jet engines using 3D printers. So the velocity at which technology is converging and humans are interacting with technology and machine is unprecedented. So we're entering that fourth revolution of industrial revolution. The question is our country prepared as a country, as an economy? The fourth revolution will begin to define platforms. What kind of platform does a country want to become? Mexico says they want to become the logistic platform for the fourth revolution. America is probably becoming the military platform for the fourth revolution. What is Nigeria becoming? Unfortunately for us, we didn't catch any of the other revolutions. Well, we could excuse the first and second. We can't excuse the third. Now, that train is moving. Can we still catch it? What do we need to put in place to catch that train? Where is broadband availability? Where is our focus on education?
So how do you answer those questions?
Well, there must be practicable and adaptable solutions. There must be a cheat mode. The cheat mode is what technology is available in the third revolution that we can quickly deploy and allow us to catch that trend of the third revolution and prepare a base for the fourth revolution. And it's 20, 30 years away. In fact, some will argue that it's already here. But I say, well, it's still 20, 30 years away, and we can catch that trend. So, first of all, focus on your knowledge centers. Our universities must have pervasive broadband. Every student, every member of the academic community must have a minimum of 10 Mbps so that we can begin to innovate. Because broadband is the canvas for innovation to now ride on. If you have broadband access, you can now train more people. Without that environment, you cannot now proceed to the fourth industrial revolution. Now, what will happen is if you don't catch that train, it will become a dumping ground. Imagine what will happen if people design a house in England and a 3D printer prints the house in Nigeria and you begin to live in that house. If jet engines can be printed with 3D printers, how about houses? How about cars?
This is very futuristic you're talking.
It's not futuristic, it's happening. GE is doing that now. They're just waiting for confirmation from the Federal Aviation Authority to say, yes, you can put this in your jet engines. They've ramped it up, it's working, and was done from a 3D printer. That's the future we're talking about. That's the fourth industrial revolution. Nigeria's industrial base is still in the 1870s when we discovered oil, and we are buoyed by that.
Are you saying that the fourth revolution has the capacity to take over economic growth in Nigeria away from oil and gas?
Yes, completely. It's going to completely change what we... one of the sheikhs in Saudi Arabia said that the Stone Age did not end because of the lack of stones. The oil age has ended long before oil itself has dried up. Why? The richest economies in the world and the richest men in those economies are not oil merchants. They're software, IT. Why? Because they led a revolution that simplified and brought convenience to people's lives.
So what would you recommend for public and private sector participants?
Top minds need to come together immediately as a matter of urgency. We need to first of all focus on our educational centers, ensure that there is adequate provision for our universities to begin to think, to innovate. And then we now need vocational centers to now begin to develop specialized skills for the right kind of labor that will take advantage. Then we'll now begin to determine what kind of platform will Nigeria become. What kind of protocols are we going to lay on ground? Who will build the pipeline? What kind of companies will take over? Because the institutions that we have in Nigeria today will be completely disrupted.
So what's your final word?
We have a new Minister of Communications now. He should not go to bed. This is the time to get everyone together, convey a meeting of the best minds in Nigeria, and let's find practicable, applicable solutions right now. Or else, we will just fade into that fourth industrial revolution.
Wande Adamola Adalemo.
Adalemo, yes.
I want to thank you so much indeed for your time and your
Thank
thoughts
you too.
here
Thank
on
you.
the News at 10.